So you touched on it a little bit there about why you wanted to run, giving back. And are there other reasons why you wanted to run as well?
Well, yeah, I think there are probably at least two or three I can articulate relatively easily. One of the passions I have is to create what's called a business corp. And without a long-winded explanation, that simply is a court that is set up to deal with intra-business disputes, business versus business. It can be a local court or it can be a regional court. But what it does is it has a judge assigned to that court who handles business matters only. Then the virtue of that is, as decisions come out on contract clauses that often create litigation issues, or how you're going to handle certain labor issues, or how you're going to view punitive damages, part of the business court is all that's recorded and it's put on the internet so that business owners as well as other lawyers who may have cases coming before you can review that and see what your general philosophy is. And that's important because litigation is expensive to businesses. Really the only people that make out are the lawyers. And so when you have business litigation, you have a situation where you have to stop what you do best, which is making widgets or whatever it is. You have to send your people to go meet with lawyers. They're in depositions, they're away from work for long periods of time, and you're down. And there's a disruption in your flow and your ability to produce the widgets that you want to produce and get out. More importantly, then when you go to trial, you have large numbers of people missing at the same time because they're in the lawyer's office or at the courthouse getting ready to testify. And that's a huge expense to corporations. And if corporations see a court, not where they're guaranteed what a decision is going to be, but at least where they can make an intelligent decision about, if we get into a dispute over this clause, this looks like it's going to turn out a certain way, then they can plan. They don't have to end up in a long-term fight in a courtroom for years and years getting there and then weeks and weeks trying it. That brings stability. Businesses, I believe, like stability. That lets them plan. And I submit that's not only good for local businesses, but it's a good lure for those businesses thinking of either expanding or coming into the region, because they can look at it and decide whether they can successfully do business here or not. So it's a novel concept. There are, I believe, 30 states have business courts. All states surrounding Indiana, except Kentucky, have business courts. And I think they work out very well. And it's a tool that, I can't promise you it's going to increase economic growth, but it lays a foundation upon which you can build to help increase economic growth.
Do you think at this point there's a need and a desire for that in Allen County?
I think there's a need for it, and I believe there's also a desire for it. I think any time you can bring more certainty to a circumstance that businesses find them in, they like that. They like to plan. If they're uncertain, it's hard to plan. So I think there's both a need and a desire.